Let's see if I can handle the last 4 minutes of this video. That is Grant Abbott's video. This is gonna be part 9, I believe. I uploaded part 7. Yep. Yeah, I'm doing
And put
okay.
the power right up to something like 400. It's a
I
very
put
powerful
1,000.
candle, that one.
Doesn't matter.
And we can see it's starting to look pretty fun. I think a dark floor would be better, so I'll click on the floor, new material, and change the base color to black.
Change the color to black.
Oh yes, we're starting to get somewhere now. Now we can add some effects by going across to the render tab, the render
Camera button.
properties here. I think ambient occlusion always helps.
Ambient over here. That looks realistic, like 4D realistic.
A bit with the shadows,
Make sure
a bit
that's
of bloom.
recording.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
we're getting that fun glow with the shadows, bit of bloom. Oh yes. We're getting that fun glow. Screen space reflections will probably help. On the floor there. I think the floor though is a little bit too reflective, so just a little bit less, somewhere around there. And we're looking pretty good. Let's scale that floor right up. That's quite fun. I think a little bit more experimentation with the lighting would be better. So what I'm going to do is bring out this window here, change this to my 3D viewport so I can set
Change it to my 3D viewpoint.
up some lights. I always think 3-point lighting works. Change this to my 3D viewport so I can set up some lights. I always think 3-point lighting works nicely. I'll bring this one right to the back here. And quite low. So it's got that cool shadow coming out there. Shift D to duplicate and Shift.
Yes, okay, so 4 corners basically.
Shift D to duplicate. It's got 3 lights in my scene. Just bring that one in a little bit more and that one in a bit more. There we go. So 3-point lighting you have.
Okay, 3 point, not 4, my bad. The AOL symbol of, like, a long time ago.
Your backlight, your fill light, and your key light. Point lights are okay, but area lights are probably a little bit better. So I'll come to my lighting tab here. And an area light is kind of easier to control. control, you can select this yellow dot and point it.
Yeah, so let's point the dots. Why is it so big like that?
Your subject. Now it's probably a little bit powerful, so 50 for the key light. The fill light, again let's have an area light pointed at my pumpkin and fill. Fill lights generally fill the space, so we make them really big. But much less powerful, so maybe 20. So it's pretty dull, that. Might put it up a little bit. It does all depend on the size of your scene, because this is dependent on how far away you are from your model. This model must be about 2 meters big, because that's the default. So if you need to, you might have to move in or move away, or put the power up. Now the backlight, it's really fun to create a powerful backlight, so maybe 300. And you can see that sort of blue rim there, which is quite fun. And again, we'll have an area light, but let's make sure it's pointing at our object. So R to rotate, pointed at our object. Or I can just grab this yellow dot and move it into position, and perhaps bring it down just a touch, and then we've got this cool lighting here, which is quite fun. You could also change the colour of these ones. I think this one would look better with a bit more red, and maybe this one with a little bit of green perhaps. And it's looking kind of fun. I think the background colour being grey isn't particularly nice, so let's go down to the bottom here, change from object to world. You could bring an HDRI in, but I think just bringing it right down to black works really nicely. Now you don't have to work in Eevee, you can go across to cycles. You could bring an HDRI in. Let's go down to the bottom here. I think the background colour being grey isn't particularly nice, so let's go down to the bottom here, change from object to world. You could bring an HDRI in, but and cool lighting here, which is quite fun. You could also change the colour of these ones. I think this one would look better with a bit more red, and maybe this one with a little bit of green perhaps. And it's looking kind of fun. I think the background colour being grey isn't particularly nice, so let's go down to the bottom here. here, change from object to world.
Object to world. Save.
You could bring an HDRI in, but I think just bringing it right down to black.
To fully black. Okay.
Works really nicely. Now you don't have to work in Eevee, you can go across to cycles, and that gives a sort of...
Wow, that looks more realistic. Yup, he's right. It does look like a movie to me.
more of a warmer glow, but Eevee's much quicker to render. Now one more thing that you might want to do, if I select on my pumpkin, I'll go back to layout mode.
Yeah, let's go back to Eevee. Just to be on the safe side.
For this, because it'll be easier to see, I'll zoom in a touch.
So the guy is touching the pumpkin. Alright, so let's go back to layout.
We can see that it's got flat shading on. We can go right click and shade smooth.
Yes, sir. Now that's a pumpkin.
But you can see then that it creates very sort of smooth edges around here if I go back to render mode.
Uh-huh. Yep.
There, it looks a bit blobby. So there's a quick way to sort this out by going to Object Data Properties. Under Normals, we can use Auto Smooth.
Under normal. Turn it on.
And that should take the sharp edges and make them sharp again. And it's not doing such a bad job. Now lastly, we might want to distort the features very slightly and create a bit of asymmetry. So across to the modifiers, and we will need to apply our mirror in order to add some asymmetry. So Control A to apply the mirror.
Where is it playing mirror? I don't see it.
To apply our mirror in order to add some asymmetry. So Control A to apply the mirror.
He's probably in, well, even though I am in object mode.
To apply our mirror in order to modify slightly, not doing such a bad job.
Really? Because I did turn on auto smooth. There's the button. This is Blender 3.0. This is Blender 3.6. Yeah, the other Blender's outdated. I could see.
Now lastly, we might want to distort the features very slightly and create a bit of asymmetry. So across to the modifiers, and we will need to apply our mirror in order to add some asymmetry. So Control A to apply the mirror. Into edit mode.
Just 2 minutes. 1 minute
Select a
left.
vertex and use the proportion edit. So G to grab, use that circle of influence and
So
kind
you're
of
basically just
distort the
moving
shape a bit.
things. You're not really. Yeah. Okay. That.
And I think
Then I'll work on the Ungons.
that looks a bit better. I do feel like our stalk needs a little bit of work, so I'll go into edit mode there. So let's zoom in on that. Control
This thing. Uh-oh. All the way down. Down, 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 down. Yes. No.
Control B to bevel and create sort of a curve to the top there. And in fact, I'll go to edge
Almost
mode,
there.
select these two as well,
I can do
and
this.
Control B to bevel those.
I'm so dedicated to doing this. Thank you, God. Please put me through the right path for this.
To create a little bit more curve. I think that's a bit better. Right click, shade smooth.
Right click and shade smooth.
And let's distort it slightly. So grab this one, G to grab.
Okay, yeah, we're there.
This one, G to grab.
Final
It's
part
got a
of this
little bit
video.
more distortion. Maybe this one,
On the
R
end
to
box.
rotate, G to grab, and just mess it around a little bit.
Yeah, so it looks like I don't have to do anything else, really. I would have too many lines.
And this very top one here, scale it in. That's a bit better. So it's looking pretty fun as a pumpkin. I can easily copy and paste this. And we've got a pretty fun pumpkin scene there. It's a good idea to go in and maybe modify some of
I'll
these
show the
things
multiple pumpkins
so they don't
in
look
my
so
arsenal.
uniform.
I'm not going to work on that right
And there we have it.
Fix it. We're done. Now, save this so things don't get lost. Anyways, I really wanted to select everything, especially the pumpkin and this. Go to edit, edit like Reddit. Faces by sides greater than 4. So right now I can just get rid of this. I don't need it right now. Get rid of edges. No. But why do I have all these vertices? Nope, I don't like this. Try getting rid of this vertice. These are bad vertices. No. And then get rid of these as well. I figured it was just for the better. Yup. Almost matching. Almost. Just almost. But that's just the beginning. Oh, I hate working on these when the thing is turned on. I forget to turn it off. What a fool of me. Did I select less than 4? No, I didn't. That's probably better. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do another part because Engons are still around this pumpkin. So, stay tuned for the last part. Have a great day. I'll work on that tomorrow.